in almost exactly the same circumstances. These are Thomas Randolph's 6 wives, all of which were supplemented by countless girlfriends and mistresses over the years. These are the wives who survived. Only 2 of them managed to make it out alive. But the strangest thing is that every single one of his wives were absolutely enchanted by Thomas when they met.
He was a very charming and witty person and very intelligent, and I fell for that at first.
Buying really nice gifts and things of that factor. It was kind of flattering at first, I have to admit.
But somewhat predictably, it wouldn't take long for these women to realize that there was something strange about Tom. He wasn't committed at all. In fact, he believed that he was such an attractive man and skilled lover that he could do whatever he wanted, and his wives just had to deal with it.
Fidelity has never been my strong suit. I'm addicted to love. I'm a true romantic. I've always cheated on my wives, but they loved me. I wasn't interested in her romantically, sexually, personally, nothing. I was having sex with one of Dana's friends. I was having sex with one of the neighbors. I was having sex with a stripper that I know.
I remember Becky calling me, and I counseled her probably over a couple of months. You've got to find a way to get out of here. Don't let him know what your plans are, but you got to get out.
Becky was Thomas's second wife, and it was her that helped detectives realize just how dangerous he really was. It turns out she had every right to be scared of Thomas, as on the 7th of November 1986, she ended up dead after taking a bullet to the head. Detectives initially ruled this as a self-inflicted shot. Thomas had told detectives that she'd been extremely depressed, and that argument led to her suicide. But as cops interviewed her friends and family, they were told a very different story. And that in reality, there was only one person that ever made her feel sad. And that was Thomas himself.
I absolutely do not think she committed suicide. I don't recall her ever being depressed enough to be at all.
We all knew that Tom had done it. And no matter what we did, nobody would believe us. No matter what we said, nobody would believe us.
The evidence lines up with this too. The blood spatters weren't consistent with Thomas's story, her body hadn't fallen in a position that made sense, and many other things were off. But since this wasn't initially treated as a homicide, the scene wasn't protected properly, and much of the evidence disappeared and was covered up by Thomas completely legally under the guise of just cleaning up his basement. But it was Becky's aunt that was able to shed the most light on Becky and Thomas's relationship, and she painted the picture of a manipulative, abusive, and narcissistic man better than anybody else.
He was just an arrogant, smartass. He had a room down in the basement, and he always kept it locked, and he'd have other girls down there and make her go down and watch him have sex. He's really a sick son.
But on top of all of this, she revealed to police one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that had actually been used almost 30 years later when trying to solve Sharon's murder. She had loaned Thomas $2,000 that she believed he was going to use to get out of debt. But it turns out that money was used to take out life insurance premiums on Becky. When Becky died a short time later, Thomas was awarded $530,000. The police now even had a motive. But when the case made it to court, it was ruled that there simply wasn't enough evidence to convict Tom. This was the pattern that repeated itself until the day Sharon died, 22 years later, with Thomas collecting over $1 million in life insurance payouts on premiums that barely any of the women even knew about. And he didn't try to keep his new wealth a secret either. He was well known to use drugs, date strippers, and buy girls gifts whenever he could, and he was proud of it all too. But to make things even more suspicious, he even tried to claim that he never took out these life insurance policies at all.
There's nothing secret about this. I never took out life insurance on any wife because you can't just go insure anybody. They have to do a medical history. They have to pee in a cup and they take blood. And this is what just irks me about all of this. Well, he secretly took out insurance. That is a total lie.
So at this point, the cops are aware of exactly what's happened to all of Thomas's 6 wives. 4 have turned up dead, and on all of them, he's taken out suspicious life insurance. They have dozens of witnesses, all with nothing good